I did my first day out with the Spectra V3i over here, and there's some things I learned. It was a pretty successful day. You know what? I've always told you have a limit, or it's not a limit I can follow all the time because, you know, time and circumstance don't always make it possible. But I try to get a minimum of 10 coins or 10 items. If there's something interesting in it, you know, I might not go to full 10 items, but, you know, that's usually it, about 10 coins. I try to get that as a minimum. You know, anything above that's fine, anything below that is sort of painful. And I did manage to do that with the Spectra V3i. And it was it did a very good job. Now, as I was working on this, and as you see, and the fact that the Safari fail is going to be part of this this little mini review here. Spectra V3i was very good. Now, the one thing I had to learn about it is it does not have the sharp, clear, concise sound of either the Safari, a sound a lot of people found annoying the Safari, or the Deus. The Deus has a very sharp, clear sound, so I often size with the Deus and to some degree with the Safari on the basis of the beginning and end of a sound. And I can usually tell within a certain range whether or not it is a coin size target. With the Spectra V3i, I can't do that, or I couldn't do it yet. But what I did do is I would find it, I would run across it a few times, I would pinpoint it, and I would push it forward as a pinpoint, and let it do its sizing, where it predicts the size of the target. And I found that very accurate, a lot more accurate than I thought it would be. This was very good at sizing the coins. In fact, it has to be, because I would not have been able to get a great idea of what size I was digging without it, because I'm so familiar with the way the Safari sounds and the way the Deus sounds. So that was not a fault of the machine. It's just the machines I've been using mostly most of the last year plus. You know, just the Deus 2+ years. And this, I think, is in another, this month, I will have had the Safari for a little bit more than a calendar year, or right at a calendar year. So it's pretty good. Now, the Spectra V3i is much better balanced than the Safari. The Safari is just an unbalanced beast, and I'm not a small, weak guy, but I feel a Safari. I can swing it as long as I want to, but I feel a Safari after I swing it for a couple of 3 hours. This one, I did not feel that with this one. The size and the balance is very good on this. I mean, very good. And you know, it's like all of the original design Whites, they have this pretty large box. It's a pretty light box, and the balance is very good here. So that was not a problem. Another issue with it is it's complex. It took me a while to get the keystrokes required to make changes. Most of the time I just hit the menu and then do it that way. That way I didn't have to worry about, you know, erring over, but I began to do that as the day progressed, because I had to do some changes in this. I had to lower the transmit. I can't recall if it's RTX. Anyway, it's the main transmit measure in both areas I dechecked it, and those are not notorious for interference or just background electronic noise. But I had to decrease those down from, I think the default was 7, down to about 5 to actually get it to function correctly in there. I think that could be a function of either both the detector and the coil, and I'm going to take care of that problem, or the combination of detector and the coil. I had no trouble pinpointing with this coil, with the addition of the, you know, using the inherent pinpoint there. So I had no trouble with the pinpoint on the coil. So I have heard that would be a problem. I'm sure concentric would have been even easier, but this worked fine. In fact, I was told by somebody that spider coil would be a good choice, and I'm still thinking about that. But so I really can say it was a successful test. I can see it now being built into my my standard rotation. I usually, sometimes I'll do 2 in a week, maybe even sometimes now 3 a week. But sometimes I'll just do all week with the Safari and do all week with the Deus, etc. So those situations might continue. But the Spectra V3i, I gave it a real hard time. I took it out to parks that I had beaten unmercifully for an extended period of time. I took it to the most beaten areas in that park. And after a while, because it didn't just pop up like that, after a while I was able to collect enough coins to make the trip a measurable success. It would have been a success if I hadn't got the coins, but I dug up a lot of trash, and I dug it up intentionally, just checking to make sure the sizing was working. And when I was getting an aluminum or nickel signal, which is the middle frequency, which is something I got to think about now. Don't have to use, I didn't think that much about frequency in the past. The middle frequency, well, I did when I was using when I'm using the Deus, so that's not altogether correct. But usually I want 18 kilohertz on the Deus. But and I was getting it the correct sizing. I would dig it up, and it was always on the button. I got one that was a little large, and I dug it up, and it was a piece of misshapen aluminum that was slightly larger than the coin, so it was very, very good. So everything's been real good with this detector, at least today. There's going to be some additions. We're supposed to be rain for the next 5 days in my area. Of course, it won't be 5 solid days, but I probably will not be carrying this out. It does not have a rain cover, and the only place I can find a full rain cover where I cover the battery box, of course, and the display is overseas. So I'm going to have to be going to have to order that from Ukraine, and that is going to take a while to get back. So for a while I'm going to be weather sensitive with this particular one. Of course, I already have a rain cover on this, and with the Deus, I just simply put a rain cover on the little controller and hang it around my neck, so it's never a problem with it. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that it was a pretty good run, and I will be using it more frequently, and if the weather's good, I'll be using it this week. If not good, I will be getting another coil, and I will announce that coil when it arrives. I know which one I'm going to get. In fact, it was suggested by someone replying to my first video. And the weird thing is I already had that in my shopping cart on Amazon. So it doubly makes the sure that probably when I get off this little video, I'm going to go in there and hit the buy button. So sometime in the next 2 or 3 days it'll arrive, and when I can take this thing out again, it will have that new coil on it, because this coil is good, but I'm never a big fan of stock coils, with the exception of the AT Pro and AT Gold, who have great coils. I always believe that the coil is basically just there as a placeholder till you buy another coil from that company. I may be wrong, but it's always my opinion. In any case, I will talk to you later, and you have a wonderful day. And you should be seeing a video very soon with this week's returns. And I didn't really get any live video. I went out without my head-mounted camera, which made it impossible for me, or difficult for me to actually do live digs. But you will be seeing those as soon as I can. All right, you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.